Hi there, my name's IL and I am beating the Elite 4 in every Pokemon game I own, from Hard Gold to Scarlet, with the same team. This video is the second of the series, so if you want to get some more context on what is happening here, go check out the first one. And for those that already have, or if you do not care to understand and just want to keep me in the background, stay tuned. Last episode, we finished Hard Gold, won against Red, and got the ribbon to prove it. It's time to say goodbye to the Johto region. For now. The mysterious trainer, referred as 3 interrogation points, entered the training center to entrust his team to his alter ego in the Sinnoh region, the trainer Menti. As my consciousness goes from the mysterious trainer to Menti, my team does not recognize me. Their friendship is low, so I will need to show them that I am still me. In the Pokemon games, friendship is an internal value hidden in the Pokemon's code that goes from 0 up to 255, that varies depending on certain actions in the game. Also, some NPCs can check and give you a vague summary of what that value is, with dialogue lines like, "Your Pokemon really likes you." My team was at 255 in their original game, but when traded, Pokemon affection level automatically resets. So I gathered online few methods to increase friendship in Pokemon Platinum. I wanted a method that did not involve leveling up before the Elite 4, as I wanted to enforce rule number 3. I had 3 choices. First choice, have my team enjoy a massage in the Ribbon Syndicate. It's with confidence that I enter the building, from which I've immediately been booted out, because I didn't meet the very select requirement of owning 10 different ribbons throughout my team. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm not bitter about it. Second choice, send my Pokemons to be massaged in Veilstone City. A very nice lady offers her massaging services to one Pokemon of my choosing, increasing his friendship by a lot. But only once per day. I could have changed my console internal clock to advanced days and asked for massages over and over again, then switch to another Pokemon and do it again, but the process was quite tedious and time consuming. So I opted for the third choice, walking. Apparently, walking 128 steps gives you a 50% chance that your entire team's friendship value increases by 1. It was also time consuming, but easier than the message method. Also, going back and forth on the bike for a couple of minutes didn't bother me anymore. So I went to ride on the beach. Some of you may already know why in this specific location, because in this house lives the Dr. Footstep. He's an NPC that will evaluate a Pokemon's friendship level by the way they walk. Weird method, but if it works, it works. And more importantly, he will reward each Pokemon that have a maximum friendship with a ribbon, proof that I have succeeded. Now that my team loves and trusts me once more, I was ready to face the Elite 4 of the Sinnoh region. I allowed myself to use items during all my fights, and did so during the whole challenge, by the way. But even then, my team was still under-leveled, and I failed a couple of times, unable to reach the 4th member. After a while, the level gap shortened as I was gaining experience from my fights. And so here is how my final try went. Finally, there I was, facing off Cynthia, the champion that gave PTSD to a whole generation of kids. At the time, we didn't know what to expect, and we got spooked by this out-of-the-blue terrifying team. I am older now, and won't be taken by surprise anymore, but I am still severely underleveled. I can't help to feel nervous starting off this fight. She started off with her dreaded Spiritomb as I lead with Nyx. After a couple of skirmish shots, Nyx goes down with a Dark Pulse. I get Amie out and set up Light Screen in hopes to reduce Spiritomb's damage, but Cynthia switches to Lucario and knocks down Amie with an Earthquake. Stud is next, and after an Earthquake duel, I finally manage to KO Lucario. Roserade and Milotic quickly follow as they get one hit KO'd by a well-placed Flamethrower and a critical hit Sunbeam. All while I heal and revive the fallen members of my team. Her Togekiss retaliates and KOs Vaina and Nyx once more. Amie paralyzed and almost knocks down Togekiss, but Cynthia switches it with the Garchomp that takes care of Amie with yet another Earthquake. During my climb of the Elite4, I've been training and preparing against Cynthia, and as such, taught Ice Beam to Stud to have a fighting chance against her star Pokémon. Garchomp is 12 levels stronger than Stud, but I managed to chip at it move after move. It finally goes down after a Lucky Freeze and critical hit. Spiritomb comes back and feints Stud. At this point I only have Goji and Yeris up. Yeris finishes the Spiritomb and now faces Togekiss, now back to full HP. At this moment I take the strategic decision to heal up Amie and let Yeris get knocked down. Amie gets onto the battlefield, survives an Aura Sphere, and takes the win thanks to a last decisive Thunder Punch. Finally, it was over. And there it was! My team joined the Sinnoh Pantheon and gained the ribbon to prove it. They were ready to go conquer another region. But before that, I had a meeting with some elitist snobs. After the Sinnoh League, I was short by one ribbon. So I grabbed a random Pokémon from my box that had at least one contest ribbon to get the necessary 10 ribbons to become a member of the Ribbon Syndicate. I went in, pampered my team with fancy massages, bought for the whole team the 3 expensive ribbons only available at the Syndicate, then left without a goodbye. Yeah, honestly in my mind this felt way more rebellious than it actually was. And gathering the money to achieve that took me forever. But hey, I got 3 new ribbons. And with that, my team could continue their journey towards the Unova region in my Pokémon White version. After the terrible minigame we have to go through to transfer Pokémons between the 4th and 5th generation, we can finally enjoy the first semblance of life given to the sprites of this game. Look at this, they have looping animations, isn't it great? My team feels just a tad more alive. And with the addition of camera movements during battles, they improved back sprites to be full height, and not just half the Pokémon. This is all great, but other than the added immersion during battles, Pokémon Black and White doesn't offer much more to interact with your team and bond. The other thing is that you can't even gain any ribbons in this game, even after beating the Elite4. Honestly, I don't really know when this became a ribbon collection challenge. I guess that the ribbon feature is a nice way to make your team unique, so I naturally try to get everyone I can. But you already read the title of this video, my fate is sealed. I will still beat the Pokémon League of the Unova region, and without a ribbon to prove it, you will be my witness. So let's go. Since the transfer, my team didn't have any items attached anymore, and they've had their HM removed as well. So I got them new items and changed around a couple of moves to keep the game fresh for me with new strategies. I was sad when I realized that Vaina had lost her poison type when becoming a Blossom, so I taught her Venoshock for all time's sake and made her hold a big root to empower her Giga Drain in hopes that it helps her stay in battle longer, since she has been the least tanky of the team so far. For that same reason, I've taught Nyx Dream Eater to go with Hypnosis. Partially for the gimmick, but also because I've always said that Noctowl should have been a Psychic type, so I gave her a Bend Spoon to boost her Psychic move too. Yeris got an Expert Belt, Brick Break to destroy potential wall moves, and Tunnel. Goji got Thunderbolt and a Rocky Helmet to counter fighting moves. Stud got to hold Soft Sand to give some punch to his Earthquakes, and Sludge Wave for some diversity in her move pool. As for Aomi, I upgraded her Discharge with Thunderbolt, and I gave her a Light Clay to increase the number of turns Light Screen stays on the battlefield. With that done, I took some time to increase my team's friendship to the max with the walking strategy from the previous game. It doesn't do anything gameplay wise, but they're my babies. I can't continue the journey if they don't love me as much as I do. So I went to Icarus City to evaluate my team and confirm that they have reached maximum friendship before heading to Unova's Pokémon League. This was the first game to introduce having to choose in which order you want to beat the Elite4, which I very much like. After the previous league, my team was a bit unbalanced level-wise, so I started with the fighting type member to level up nicks that had fallen behind. I just want to take a moment to talk about how ostentatious the Pokémon League got here. Like, dude, do you live here or do you actually walk all these steps every day to go to work? Actually, I think he might have a secret elevator, and the stairs are only made to intimidate challengers before the battle. Anyways, here's how it went. I've never checked any of the teams beforehand to keep the thrill of battling champions intact, so I got very lucky leading with Yeris while Alder sends out his Axel Core. Coupled with an unlucky miss on his part, I managed to one-hit KO it with a flamethrower. Buffalant is next. Yeris gets a nice hit on it with a Brick Break to the neck, but he's almost brought down as Buffalant retaliates with a Stone Edge. I switch for Stud that tanks a head charge, then I alternate between healing him up and Ice Beam, as this bullheaded keeps head charging in succession, leading him to lose HP each turn until he finally collapses. Alder sends out his Cavalier next. I switch back to Yeris that takes him down in one hit yet again. My starter is 2 for 2 bugs, as a third one arrives on the battlefield, Volcarona. Overconfident, I keep Yeris in and try to KO it with a Tunnel. The Fire Moth gets only but a scratch before he answers back with a powerful Laser Beam. Yeris and Stud fall before it. Goji is next. The sandstorm erupts and he manages to break Volcarona's win streak with a Stone Edge. Unfortunately, he doesn't last long as he is immediately knocked out by a superpower move by Trodagon. I sent out Aomi, that keeps strong but is eventually downed by the dragon's outrage. Meanwhile, I've revived Stud that now stands as my last Pokémon able to fight. Trodagon, already wounded, feints against Stud's Ice Beam and a lucky knockback from its outrageous confusion. Vanillux gets sent out as his last Pokémon. This is going to be a 1v1 for victory. I am at a level disadvantage and the type matchup is not particularly in my favor. He uses Light Screen to half the damage from special damaging move that Stu'd have 3 of. Fortunately for me, I chose the 4th option, Earthquake. He is down to half HP, I just need to hit it one more time. But he is faster and sends out a Blizzard. I grit my teeth as I watch Stu'd's HP drop. It ticks down, then stops. Yes! Stu'd hits again with an Earthquake. But he survives. Thankfully, Goji's Sandstorm is still up and deals the last bit of damage to help me win this match. Let's go! I'm the new champion of Unova. This is mine now. But only for a moment, since I need to transfer my team to the next game. With the help of the Poké Transfer and Bank, I send my team towards the 3DS games. Pokémon White was a nice step up from static and semi-animated sprites, but Pokémon Y is where it's at. 3D baby! Look! They are real! They look like you could touch them! And you can! Holy heck, this is the pinnacle of Pokémon interactions. With the Poké Amie feature, you can pet your babies. You can feed them exclusively sweets and cakes. I really missed having Yeris follow me around, but this is a highly acceptable alternative. I had been wanting these exact features for years now, and I'm sure every kid that grew up with Pokémon daydreamt about owning one of these monsters in real life. And at the time of release, this feature was the closest we could get to having a Pokémon companion. Petting your Pokémons long enough will have them do a little animation with hearts to let you know that the Pokémon's affection towards you increases. Little side note here, Pokémon affection is different from the friendship level. They affect different mechanics within the game. Affection can only be obtained via the Poké Amie feature, and Pokémons that evolve thanks to high friendship won't do so if only their affection is high. Since friendship is basically only useful for certain Pokémon that need it to evolve or for very specific moves, from now on I will be exclusively maxing up their affection to represent the bond between me and my team. The added details that I love the most is that each Pokémon have a sweet spot, which they absolutely adore, and that will have them release more hearts. But they also have no-touch areas that will have your teammates get mad at you for petting instead. Just like a cat after you've touched their bellies for too long. I can't get enough of this kind of content that makes Pokémons much more lifelike. All of my team has so much personality now. Also, Goji is so freaking big, she needs 2 screens for herself. Another example of the level of details that went into this. Certain Pokémons have areas that are actually dangerous to pet. Touching Aomi's pearls will shock me. I also know that touching the fire on a Rapidash burns you, and certain Pokémons like Cryogonal can't even be pet because their whole body are made of ice and frost. The Pokémon Amie feature also features treats called Pokepuffs to increase their affection, as well as 3 mini-games that involve your team, bouncing yarn balls, matching the berries and puzzles. Winning these rewards you with more of these Pokepuffs. They are kinda okay to do in between battles, but I find them pretty repetitive and uninteresting. I'd rather just pet my little guys. Okay, so now that I have stuffed my team with love and sweets, we are ready to take on the Kalos League. Like the last game, I can choose in which order I challenge the Elite4. Kalos is based on France, so it's gotta be fancy. They went all out on the battle rooms. And it made things much more disappointing when I realized I was way overleveled. I won most of my matches without using items, even against Diantha. So, yeah, enjoy this very short battle montage. this is gonna be it for this episode. This was a bit anticlimactic, but my team all got the Kalos champion ribbon. So, see you next time for the next and last episode of this series. Thank you again for watching. Please come back in a year. Yo, if you're still here, it must mean that you enjoyed the video. Thank you for keeping up with my little series. So please drop a like and subscribe to be notified when I release the third and final episode. Whenever that is. Have a great day!